Hey, I want to share with you some things I've learned about how to create quizzes using Populi's categories. You can type questions directly into the test. I know you can do that, but actually this is a better practice to use categories, because if you do this, then those questions create a question bank that you can use at another time. Say in the future you want to switch around your questions a little bit. They'll all be there for you, and it'll be much easier to change them in your tests. So let me just show you how this is done. So I'm going to open up Populi here, and I have a link up here at the top. And just log into your Populi account. And then you're going to look for your course. Mine is in the sandbox because it's not been published yet. And this is the eschatology course that I'm working on. I'm proceeding from the point where you've already created your places for the tests. And the way you would do that is you go into assignments and then just add an assignment and add it the test type. And that's how you would create your placeholders for the tests. Once you've done that, then you can go to the tests tab and you will see that the assignments that you created as tests of the test type show up here. And you'll see that I've already completed first 6 quizzes, but quiz number 7, for example, does not yet have any questions. And up here at the top, you'll notice you have not only a tab for your test, but you also have a tab for questions. But if you click questions, then this is where you can add questions to your test bank. I've already created my questions, and I put them into a Word document. And I copied the document and made a copy of it once it was saved and added TEMP, temporary, to it. And the reason for that is, as I'm adding the questions to the quiz, I want to delete them from here. That ensures that I don't repeat the same question, because I've had that problem of doing that in the past. So this helps me to keep track of which questions I've already added. So you would go here to to the questions tab in the tests main tab and click add to add a question. And all of mine are essay types, but it can be of any type here. So I'm going to go down here and click essay. I'm going to come over here to my document then, and I'm going to Control X to copy that and delete it at the same time. And then I'm going to paste it here. And then down here, I'm going to add 2 categories. One for the chapter that question belongs to. As you can see over here, it's from chapter 13 of the book. The author's name is Venema, chapter 13. But then I'm going to add a second category, week 7, because this quiz is for week 7. So I save that. And as you can see over here on the side, I have all the categories for previous questions, and week 7 shows up right here. If I click on this category for the author's name, chapter 7, it's going to show me all the questions that I've added for that chapter. So okay, I've got my first one in here. I'm going to add another one. And again, I'm going to go to essay type. I'm going to go over to my document and cut that from there. Come back over here and paste it. And notice, since I clicked down here to open up all the questions related to that category, it copied it right over into my next question. So I don't have to type that over and over and over again. And now what also I'll do is I'm going to look for week 7, which is the category, the second category that I gave it. So I type in WEE, and the list of all my categories pops up here that start with WEE. And I go down to the bottom because that was the last one. Week 7, that's the one I'm looking for. Click that, and then click Save. And now I have 2 questions. Let me do that one more time. Add a question. Choose your type of question. Go over to your list of questions. I'm going to cut that out. Back over to Populi, paste it into the question box. Go down. My chapter category is already in here. Type few letters of your category that you're looking for. For the secondary category, go down and select that. Choose Save. And so you do this for all of your questions. And when you get to the chapter 14 rather than chapter 13, I would do the very same thing. I would add another question, only this time I'm going to change it to Venema Chapter 14. But the week is going to be the same because I'm quizzing them on 2 chapters per week. Now when I go down here to Venema Chapter 14, it doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't show up when you do the first question. Let's see. Yeah, it does. There it is. I had to reboot the page. So then I would proceed to add additional questions for that chapter as well. Add a question. Choose your type. Come over to your questions list. Cut that. Paste it over here. And then in that second category, I'm going to add the same category. That way, these questions are divided by chapter, but they're united by the secondary category, which is week 7. So I save that. Now I'm going to stop recording for a moment and finish this out, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so now I have all my questions entered, and they all have both of those categories. One category for the chapter, and one category for the week. So now I want to go back to tests, back to the test tab, back down to my module 7 quiz. And so I'm going to click add a question. But instead of adding the individual questions here now, what I'm going to do is open up where it says create a new question and go down to add a group of questions from a category. And I'm just going to go in here and do the same thing I did before. Type a couple of letters in, go down, find the week that this quiz pertains to, click that. I'm going to add my maximum points. I always give this 100 for all my tests. Now there are approximately, it varies, but I didn't count them, but approximately 25 questions total between the 2 chapters. But I only want them to be quizzed on 10, so I'm going to type 10 in here. And what Populi will do will be randomly select 10 questions out of that set for each student. So each student will actually get a different set of questions. So then I come down here and click Save. So let's go back out to Tests and see what it looks like now. Go to Module 7 Test. Here it is. Look at Preview. And there you have it. You have 10 questions selected from the category week 7 that are taken from both chapters 13 and 14. And that's how you use the categories to add questions to create a quiz.